This is a brief video on how to use the library. Now, we are at week 3, and the focus this week is on the APUS library, and it does give you some information about how to use the library. I just wanted to give you a little video, a little help with this. Sometimes it's easier to visually see how to do things as opposed to just reading it. So, for those of you who are visual learners, hopefully this can help you a little bit. So first, obviously, you want to go here to click on the library. Then you're going to get to this main page right here. And I wanted to show you some of the references and resources that this main page shows. First of all, for library help, make sure to click on here. That way you can directly ask a librarian about any sort of issues or questions that you have. Sometimes you can't locate a source or you're not sure what database to use. The librarian is an excellent resource and they actually want to help you. So please make use of this. It's a free resource and they are excellent. Now, many of you go to the everything search and you just enter in some basic information. The problem is when you use the everything search, you pull in everything, right? And if you think about it, let's say if you put intelligence studies, you're getting every single source out there about intelligence studies. So oftentimes, it's not because you can't find anything, it's that you're finding too much, and a lot of the sources vaguely reference what you want to find. So instead, I want to see if I can help you pull in things that are more specific. So first of all, when you go to the research area of the library, you can click on what is seen as the research guides. So let's pretend we clicked on that. And then notice that the research guides are broken up by the department. So let's say, again, let's go back to intelligence studies. You can access a number of research tools using the intelligence studies guide. So this might help you find sources, narrow down resources. For example, you can go to specific databases that house the information that would be of interest to you in this research field. But basically it goes to any sort of subject. So let's say if you're majoring in literature or legal studies, you'll be able to find research guides that could help you with this as well. And also helps you with a specific librarian. So in any case, let's move on because there's another research location that might help you. So I'm going to go back to the library and I'm going to pull out of this, hopefully if I can. And I want to show you the databases specifically. So when you get to the opening page, find databases and then go to the A through Z list. And so let's go ahead and pretend like we went there right now. So this is the A through Z list. And so for those of you who aren't exactly sure what you want to major in, or if you want to find the best, easiest databases to find sources, no matter what you're majoring in, I would say these are the ones that are most helpful. Academic Search Premier, EBSCO Database Suite, and that's often linked with Academic Search Premier. So both of them are very helpful. Nexus Uni. Now, Nexus Uni houses a bunch of newspapers and informative sources. So oftentimes the sources that you find through Nexus Uni are not peer-reviewed. And I'm going to go back to what that is in a moment. But they are helpful. The sources there are helpful if you need specific data or specific information about a topic. I would try there. Or if you need recent information about a case study, this is a great option as well. Finally, ProQuest Database Suite is an awesome resource as well. So mainly ProQuest, Nexus Uni, EBSCO, and Academic Search Complete are all great. Now, I mentioned the term peer-reviewed, and we're going to go through that this semester as well. Peer-reviewed generally come from academic articles published through universities. And the people who publish in these peer-reviewed journals are experts in the field. Now, the peer-reviewed process is quite timely and difficult. It not only is written by an expert, but it's checked for accuracy by a number of experts. So it goes through a lot of studies, it goes through a lot of fact checking. So generally, peer-reviewed articles are the strongest source you can use and the most accurate and the most convincing for persuasive essays. However, they are also difficult to read. So for the case of this class, Nexus Uni would probably be the easiest accessed and accessible items, but for real strong, persuasive articles, I would go and use peer-reviewed articles. Now, let's say we clicked on Academic Search Premier. So we clicked on Academic Search Premier, and actually I'm going to just go ahead and open it right now. This is what the EBSCO or Academic Search Premier database looks like. So this is where you would enter your search terms. I would always try to go to advanced search, and then I would always limit my results to full text. The reason why you want to click on full text is that if you don't do that, sometimes you get an abstract, and I'm going to show you what that is in a moment. That's not the article. That's a summary of the article written by someone else. Then if you want to have strong academic sources, you click on scholarly and peer-reviewed journals. Now, when you search through Academic Search Premier or EBSCO, you want to be very particular about your search terms. Because let's say you're writing about intelligence. I'm going to go ahead and pull up articles that are about intelligence. Well, obviously, you're going to get a ton of sources. All right, so if you limit it, and I'm going to limit it right here. Let's say you want to write about intelligence, like specifically the field, and you're interested in this topic. Well, if you enter that search, you're going to get a number of, you're still going to get a number of sources, but they're going to be a lot easier for you to access. I mean, you can even narrow this down, but sometimes just doing a somewhat specific search will help you discover a topic and make it a little easier for you to find sources, ironically. So let's look at this first source. I clicked on full text and I clicked on scholarly. So the source I have is actually scholarly. It's written by an expert. It's put out by the Law Review, which obviously would be a strong and peer-reviewed source. It has a volume and issue number. And generally when you see something like this, that also tells you that it's coming from an academic journal. Also, I can get the full text of this, which is quite helpful. So let's say I pulled it up, and let me see if actually I don't have it pulled up here, so let me pull it up for you. All right, so I'm pulling it up now, and notice that I have what is called an abstract. Now, an abstract is basically a quick summary of the source. So in general, once you pull up a source, you want to read the abstract to see if it's something you actually are interested in. Now here, if you want the full text, just click on PDF full text. And although it is extremely long, you can look at the chapters and discover what is interesting to you if the source is very long. So let's go back. I wanted to show you one more thing before I close. And oftentimes I have to wait a little bit. Anyway, so right here, and you might not be able to see it with the screen that I have, but right here, you can see a slight small word that's called cite. So if you click on that, oddly enough, you're going to get all the citations for this particular article. And what I mean by citations is just basically the American Psychological Association formatting style in Chicago and MLA. So when earlier in the semester, we talked about you locating your citation style according to your major. And after I upload this, I'll upload that information again. But locate your citation style and be very careful. Note the citation style and then note that it does give you the sample citation that you can just basically cut and paste into your essay. And I'll talk about this later, but sometimes the automatic citation style isn't exactly correctly formatted. So, for example, this is in all caps. Generally, you want to just write it correctly, all capitalization here, but then the rest of this should be lowercase. And then also with the article title, you only want the first letter capitalized, the rest of it should be in lowercase. Now, this also doesn't include the URL. I do want to see the URL as well. But don't get too concerned about the citation style. We have time for that. But in any case, I hope this helps you a little bit with locating sources. You don't have to do all of that this week, but I wanted to introduce to you some of the sources and areas that could help you research within the library. Don't forget to ask me questions. I'm here to help you. And best of luck this week. I know you're going to do great in the forums, and I will talk right to you soon. Bye.